Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Rick. Got a video today from whatever clips. Charlie Kirk calls out feminists who only wants equality when it benefits her. This is a good conversation. Please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow. It's chow time.
So then, for those of you that said you were feminists, do you see any inconsistency between saying that you want equality, but you're cool with sending men to run into machine guns to protect your society? Does anyone wrestle with that?
You know, I'm a big fan of Charlie. I don't watch too much political things or anything, but when I do see him on the clips that I do feature, he's always very level-headed. The way he speaks to the women, the way he explains the question, it helps me understand I need to be better too.
How do you reconcile that? Yeah.
I didn't say I was a feminist.
No, I know,
but
but some
definitely
did.
mental gymnastics, right?
No, but what I'm getting at, though, is that it's easy, and I know that you have all been so polite, but let's just dive right into it. It's easy at times to bash the patriarchy. Taylor Swift just today was one of her songs, F the patriarchy, and everyone in the concert screams that, right?
Can we Google that, Nick? Yeah.
Well, it's a lyric to one of her songs. It's some like name tag that was dropped, but she says it like a rallying cry, F the patriarchy. When it comes down to it, it's like you're cool throwing men to the front lines of war, but not yourself.
Silence!
Why do you think the third wave has happened? Do you think it's revenge? Do you think
See, they just ask stupid questions that doesn't even pertain to it or anything.
it's a mind virus?
Well, I think it's...
What do you think?
It's a great question. I think that it is a idea toxin where we have really denigrated having children and staying at home for a lot of women. And some women, that's the right path. For some women, it's not the right path. But for a lot of women, it is the right path. And there needs to be an ideological reason as to why you don't get married and you don't have kids for the vast majority of the population. And they developed feminism, where they said that for young women, becoming a CEO of a shoe company is as fulfilling as having children. And for some people, that is true. But for a lot of people, that's just not true.
It really is.
And
even us as men to be a CEO of a shoe company isn't as fulfilling as my honest personal opinion. You guys can think differently than being a father. You know, if you can be a wonderful father and raise wonderful children, in my opinion, it is more fulfilling than being a CEO of some nice major company.
you look at the way Gloria Steinem wrote the feminist mystique. It was, I feel as if I'm in an open air prison, being a stay-at-home mom, barefoot and pregnant, basically, being in the kitchen. And it started this whole push, which is where we are the same as men. And that's the problem with third wave feminism, is that it ties with the trans movement, is they don't believe there's any sort of biological differences between men and women, which we all agree is insane, right? That men and women are made completely differently. And yeah, I think it's an intellectual and ideological cancer that needs to be crushed. And I think deep down, most people don't even believe it. And the draft argument actually, I think, really draws that out, where when it comes down to it, most American women are okay sending men to war, which you should be, by the way.
Do you young ladies, like if you feel like you say, I'd like to marry and be a stay-at-home mom and not work, if any of you would say that, I don't know, do you feel like other people would shame you, that you get more social clout by saying something else?
I think it's praised right now to be a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
At least from my social circles.
Interesting.
Like
If that is the case, good. I want that to happen. More social circles should be praising mothers, not single mothers, sorry, mothers. You know, mothers with stable families, mothers that want to take care of their kids, mothers with good husbands.
That's a new phenomenon. But
Before we do move on, I'm not going to allow. Hold
on.
on. I'm not going to allow you guys to weasel your way out of Charlie's question here.
Yeah.
So just show of hands, who of you guys said you were feminists? I believe you, and then you. Oh, come on! Don't.
See, that's how fickle these women are about feminism, about the things they actually believe in. As soon as you pull a little thread enough, all of it breaks down. Oh, I'm not a feminist anymore. I don't want to claim myself to be a feminist anymore. Then why did you claim yourself to be one in the first place?
Reel it back here. So both of you said you're feminists, but you also said you're not in favor of women being subject to military conscription. It occurs to me that feminism, in the most, I guess, generous definition I could give it, is a movement towards equality. That's not honestly the definition I would give it, but to be charitable, I'll give it that. So how do you...
Davis donated $300. Kirk, I'm a fan, but stop that corporate nice Christian boy.
I like it. I think it's a good look for us as men. You don't want to be the aggressive, telling women in their place all the time, because that type of person doesn't get the media attention, the media coverage that it needs. So I like that Charlie is more of a Christian boy trying to do everything by the book, no cussing and stuff. It just pulls in a different audience, and it helps the movement either way.
Facade.
Being too nice.
America is on its last leg, being overrun by illegals and degenerates.
Oh, wow, okay.
A time for being nice and a time for war. Now is time for
Okay,
war.
I can agree with him.
This is Burger King. It's Mike Davis. All right, Mike Davis, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
That's why men should be in war.
Yeah.
A woman would never say that.
Because they...
It's time for war. I've never uttered that
That's very
phrase in my
astute.
life.
No, that's a very smart point, actually.
And so, back to my question, those of you who consider yourself feminist, how do you reconcile being a feminist, being for equality, but also not being in favor of women being subject to forced military conscription the same way that men are? Go ahead.
Because feminism isn't just feminism, as in if you're a feminist, you have to agree with every single thought and every single idea that every feminist pushes forward, like the draft, for example.
Well, it's not
just
clear to
like,
me if that's a feminist, like specifically a feminist position.
Well, then if I'm not a feminist under your eyes, then that's fine. I just...
Would you acknowledge, though, that would be a pure equality between men and women?
Yeah. If everyone
So you're not
got
in
drafted,
favor of
that would be-
equality
Yeah.
when it doesn't stand to benefit women?
Yep.
Yeah, but again, I never pushed
Yeah.
for 100% equality within feminism. Not
So
every
you only
feminist
want the
believes
equality
that.
that benefits women?
No, I want the equality that benefits
You just said yeah earlier, girl.
humanity.
Okay, so can I...
Like,
can I
as a
interrupt?
society.
No, okay, so if that is... Are you guys then okay when you find out that women might earn less in the workforce than men?
Yeah, if it falls under that same
you're consistent,
benefits humanity and society, then yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think women should be, if the women are doing the same exact job and producing the same exact amount, quantity, and quality.
You are correct. I do agree with that, but it's not like that majority of the time, girl. You see, all you girls seem to really think you can produce and are just as good as men in the work field, and you guys aren't.
of
That's why you
work, I
guys
think
pay
we should
pay
rate
less.
the same.
Yeah.
But generally, that's not the case.
You know, you're right. Yeah, the law, you can't discriminate based on sex, but usually there's a lot of other factors, such as where you went to school, what you studied. So yeah, I'm just trying to flush out the consistency or lack thereof here.
Yeah, I don't ever think it's men versus women. It's like masculine complements the feminine. So I think the new wave feminism, if they're talking about, hey, women are better than men, that's like the dumbest thing that you can ever say. I think
Alright, I like
women
that
complement men, which goes back to your, draft concept.
Well, I'd like to ask you another question here. Do you think women should be barred from volunteering for the military?
No.
Well, that's interesting. They shouldn't be barred from volunteering, but they should be barred from being forced into conscription despite men being forced into potential conscription. I'm a little confused there.
What's confusing about that?
Well, why would you, if you're fine with women volunteering,
Yeah.
why would you object to women being forced?
I feel like we made so many points on why women shouldn't be in war. Do I have to go over them again? I can.
Did you make points? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I did actually. Like, for example, a woman being sent out to war. Well, actually, let's use her example. That was one of the best ones. If we send half women, half men to war, and we lose an incredible amount of population, what would it be of the country and our workforce? Like
Well,
she said,
let's assume.
women are the ones that are able to have one child at a time. Some occasions, 2, 3, if you have twins, triplets, whatever. But one man can produce how many kids in a year? One man can repopulate a population so much quicker than a woman can.
Why are you, for a feminist, using fucking red pill talking points is so stupid to me. If that was the case, why the fuck do you need equality? You obviously saying that men are superior in certain aspects of everything.
Okay, well, let's assume the conflict we get involved in is similar to Vietnam, where it's not like we're drafting like huge swaths of the U.S. population. It's more like I just Googled it. I think the United States military conscripted 2 million service personnel throughout the course of Vietnam War.
World War II was way more than that.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we lost, 1 million from a population perspective, I don't think it would be catastrophic.
But again, those 1 million women aren't just 1 million women randomly. They're occupying special type of forces. Like, for example, teachers. How many teachers would we lose because of that?
What do you mean? We would get like 18 to 22-year-olds. They're in the middle of doing OnlyFans or college or something.
Isla Vista would end up being the Marines.
Yeah.
So can I ask?
If you
Okay.
The Bronaces donated $300. Get rid of those silly
know why
Australian
I don't
headbands,
know why
twins.
I'm
I have been to Australia and all their women are like them. Replace them with Jojo Leche bags.
Okay.
Charlie Kirk looks like he's battling Metro Man.
Metro Man?
Anyone know what that means?
I have no idea what.
I think they're saying you look metrosexual.
Oh, really? Right.
Rude. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it, I
That
guess.
was so cute.
so random.
Oh, I see what happened there. Okay. All right. Where were we? I forgot.
So can I just ask a question? So if you are with your boyfriend or husband and there's a home intruder in the house, who would you expect your husband to put himself first into that situation to take care of it?
Absolutely. I mean,
Or husband, boyfriend, or male counterpart?
I know my husband and I have had this conversation multiple times. I mean, we have multiple guns in the house, and he's told me, he's like, go hide in the bathroom and hide in the closet. He's like, and I'll take care of you. I mean,
Yep.
and I know where
As
the
it
guns are, and I
should
know
be.
how to use them, just in case he dies for some reason. Or I can, shoot and hopefully scare somebody away.
Right.
I think you were maybe in the middle of making a point. You said, well, that they would be teachers, and so that's why we shouldn't
Well, you were
draft
saying
them.
how 1 million women dying doesn't really hurt society, and I was saying that it does because women have a higher amount of in certain roles, like for example,
No, men are more important in certain roles because certain roles require the men to do it no matter what. Teaching is not that one of those professions that women have to do and only women can do.
Jobs are more valuable. Is that
no.
the argument you're
I'm
making?
saying a lot of women's jobs are already majority women.
Right, but I was arguing
So
your
if-
point about you're making this point of, well, if all the women go and die to war, how are we going to repopulate? But
Yeah.
I don't think any conflict would reduce the female population to such a degree that it would have some catastrophic if they were drafted frontline, whatever.
But we're already at.
Actually, it'd probably be good. I'm going to get canceled for this. It'd actually probably be good for the population if women got drafted, because here's what happens actually with the volunteer force of women. If they ever do face a deployment, a lot of these female soldiers just get pregnant to avoid having to be deployed.
That's
So actually, this
true.
The fertility rate
Charlie,
would go up.
Hold on, Charlie. I think actually conservatives need to get on board with the female draft.
But no, you have to stay pregnant.
Charlie, I need you to commit on the whatever podcast here that you
No,
actually are in
I-
favor of the female draft, because they get drafted, right? We draft only women, and then they're gonna get pregnant so they can avoid being deployed.
And then we send men anyways.
If
A lot
there
of
is a
women do
pregnancy exemption, they still allow certain
Right, what
pregnant
if-
women to.
what if-
No, if you're pregnant, you can't be deployed.
How about only third trimester can't get deployed, but first
I'm
and
just-
second?
look,
They
I'm
have,
just
they
saying-
have pregnancy jumpsuits, but they're not in the Air Force, which is just
I think this
insane.
could be a great talking
Yeah.
point.
Pregnancy jumpsuits? We even thought about sending pregnant women over there already? To have pregnancy jumpsuits?
For the
real
conservative
thing.
party. Let's draft the women, and then we'll fix the population problem.
Which we have a huge
lot of women will
we have a huge
get. A lot
population
of women get pregnant. We will have to
I actually
ban
like the idea. I think it's funny.
schmishmortion, and just
And then everyone's
For
going
that-
to be raised in a
okay.
single parent
Getting-
household? That's horrible.
no.
I hate
of
that.
course,
I hate
they
that
get
for
married
everyone.
or something. They get married.
They get married to their husband who's deployed. Also,
Hey, why not?
everything sucks.
We'll figure it out. Anyways,
War is bad across the board.
but wait. So okay, don't draft women because then we can't repopulate. Is that kind of the argument?
Yeah, that was one of them. Yeah.
Okay, what if we only draft 100, or excuse me, not 100, 1 million women?
Okay, so you want to put a marker on we can draft 1 million women and unlimited men. Wouldn't that also not be equal under
No,
your
just
eyes?
say 1 million women, 1 million men, or 10 million
Okay.
women, 10 million men. That would
Okay,
be
and
equal.
And if they can prove that those 1 million women are competent and would advance the war just as much as those 1 million
Probably
men.
not, but
exactly.
we
That's
still
my
draft
point.
them.
No, but that's
No,
my
but
point.
equality, we still draft
Yes.
them.
But
See,
wouldn't you,
now you're talking about the best outcome and the best scenarios to get what you want. No, that's not what you guys have always been fighting for. It's equality. It's for people to all be equal in the same eyes. But yet now you're talking about, oh, men are more capable. Men can do these things. What the fuck?
want in a war, the people
Then
going
why
to
do
war.
we have women for the volunteer force, which you're in favor of?
Because I do believe that the women who are volunteering know that they can provide.
No, they
quite a
can't.
bit to the war.
Majority of
They're
them
not just like,
cannot.
you know,
Oh, really?
Shout outs to whatever podcast. Women really think the volunteer force of women are as capable as the men? You are so stupid. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.